For years, the name Jeffrey Epstein has remained at the center of one of the most disturbing and controversial criminal cases in modern American history. His arrest, his powerful connections, and his death in federal custody have fueled endless speculation, public outrage, and countless unanswered questions. Among the names that repeatedly surface in public discussion is former President Donald Trump. Photographs, old interviews, court filings, media reports, social connections from decades ago. Each time new documents emerge, social media erupts, headlines resurface, and one question returns. What, if anything, connects Donald Trump to Jeffrey Epstein beyond past association? Tonight, we are not here to speculate. We are not here to accuse. We are here to examine what is documented, what has been alleged, what has been dismissed, and what legal experts say actually matters. This is a documentary breakdown of the facts, the filings, and the legal standards that govern this ongoing debate. Jeffrey Epstein was a financier who cultivated relationships with powerful individuals across politics, business, academia, and entertainment. In 2008, he pleaded guilty in Florida to state charges related to soliciting prostitution from a minor, receiving a controversial plea deal that later faced heavy criticism. In 2019, Epstein was arrested on federal charges involving alleged sex trafficking of minors. He pleaded not guilty. Before the case could proceed to trial, Epstein was found dead in his Manhattan jail cell. The official ruling was suicide. However, the circumstances of his death intensified public suspicion and scrutiny. Following his death, attention shifted to his network. Who knew what? Who was involved? And which relationships were purely social versus potentially criminal? It is within this broader inquiry that Donald Trump's name periodically reappears. Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein were known to have socialized in the 1990s and early 2000s. Publicly available photographs show them attending events in Palm Beach and New York. Trump once described Epstein in a 2002 interview as someone he had known for years, calling him a terrific guy, in comments that have since been widely circulated. However, years later, Trump stated that he had a falling out with Epstein and had banned him from Mar-a-Lago. According to Trump's public statements, their relationship ended long before Epstein's 2019 arrest. It is critical to separate social association from criminal implication. Being photographed with someone who later commits crimes does not, by itself, constitute evidence of wrongdoing. Court documents unsealed over the years have referenced numerous high-profile individuals. However, legal experts consistently emphasize that appearing in documents or flight logs does not equate to criminal conduct. Context matters. Evidence matters. Charges matter. To date, Donald Trump has not been charged in connection with Epstein-related criminal activity. That fact is central to any responsible analysis. In recent years, various civil lawsuits and defamation cases related to Epstein have led to the unsealing of court documents. These documents include depositions, witness testimony, and references to public figures. Legal analysts caution that unsealed documents often contain allegations, hearsay, and statements that have not been tested in court. One key distinction must be made. Allegations in civil filings are not findings of guilt. In several instances, names appear in documents simply because individuals were mentioned during questioning. That does not mean wrongdoing was proven or even alleged against them directly. Legal scholars point out that the American justice system operates under a presumption of innocence. Criminal liability requires formal charges and proof beyond a reasonable doubt. In the case of Donald Trump, while his name has surfaced in discussions surrounding Epstein's social circle, there has been no criminal indictment tied to Epstein's crimes. This distinction is frequently blurred in online discourse. We consulted multiple legal perspectives to understand how professionals view the situation. Legal analysts emphasized three key points. First, social proximity does not equal criminal liability. In high-profile circles, especially in Palm Beach and New York elite communities, social overlap was common. Second, the burden of proof in criminal cases is extremely high. Allegations require substantiated evidence. Third, the public often confuses investigative interest with prosecutable evidence. Just because documents are released does not mean prosecutors have grounds for charges. Some legal experts also argue that transparency is essential to maintaining public trust. They support continued document releases where appropriate, stating that sunlight reduces speculation. Others warn against trial by media narratives, which can damage reputations without formal legal conclusions. The legal consensus remains clear. Documented association alone is insufficient to establish criminal wrongdoing. Beyond legal implications, the political dimension is unavoidable. Donald Trump remains one of the most polarizing figures in modern American politics. Any renewed discussion of Epstein-related questions carries political weight. Supporters argue that resurface claims are politically motivated. Critics argue that public figures must face scrutiny. Election cycles amplify these narratives. Media coverage intensifies. Social media accelerates claims, often without nuance. Political analysts note that allegations, proven or not, can shape public perception even absent legal action. The distinction between legal accountability and political consequence becomes blurred in the court of public opinion. In the digital age, information spreads rapidly. So does misinformation. Images are shared without context. Court excerpts are posted without full transcripts. Headlines are crafted for maximum emotional reaction. Responsible journalism requires separating verified court findings, allegations in civil documents, online speculation, official criminal charges. Legal experts warn that failing to distinguish between these categories undermines due process and damages institutional trust. The Epstein case remains one of the most unsettling criminal scandals in recent American history. It exposed failures in oversight, controversial plea deals, and unanswered questions about powerful networks. When it comes to Donald Trump, the documented facts show past social association, later public distancing, and no criminal charges related to Epstein's crimes. Allegations circulate, documents surface, debates continue. But in the American legal system, conclusions require evidence, charges, and judicial process, not speculation. As new information becomes available, legal experts say the standard remains unchanged. Evidence must meet the threshold of the law. Until then, the discussion remains a matter of legal analysis and public debate, not criminal adjudication. We will continue to monitor verified developments and bring you structured, fact-based coverage. As debates continue and new documents surface, separating verified facts from speculation has never been more important. At Capital Anchor Report, our commitment is simple: structured analysis, documented facts, and clear legal context without the noise. If you value serious political reporting grounded in evidence and due process, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. We cover the developments that shape national conversations with clarity, not chaos. Stay informed, stay critical, and we'll continue bringing you the facts.